Welcome back to Global Village. I'm Buddy Cunanan. We've said goodbye to Sarah Keblatin of Global Eco Village Network, and joining us now is Mitch Carson, and he is the organizer of a very interesting event in Manila called Speaking in Manila.
That's about as straightforward as you get.
Yes. Mitch, welcome to Global Village, to
Thank
our
you for
third
having
final
me.
segment. It's a pleasure to have you here. Okay, let's talk about you first. This is not your first time in the Philippines, is it?
Been here many times. I am hooked on Halo Halo
Okay.
and
wow.
the Filipino people.
Yes, yes. And you're originally from LA in
Yes,
New York.
correct.
And where is home for you now?
Bangkok, Thailand. So I've been in living in Asia for 7 years now, and Bangkok has been my home for 3 of those years.
Okay, excellent. Now, Mitch, you have an interesting career, an interesting profile. It says, you're a CEO of a company that called Impact Products Marketing before, and then you were in the media as well. You're a motivational speaker. Who is Mitch Carson? You've got so many hats.
5'11", 93 kilos, living in Bangkok. I've had a life as a former pitchman on a program called Home Shopping Network in out of the U.S., where I sold products on live TV, which was interesting, and it got me to become comfortable in front of the camera. I'm a little nervous today, but I've overcome it.
Really?
Yeah,
well, you could fool me.
Yeah, I'm fooling you. And I also had a radio show out of Los Angeles with CBS Radio, and I've been on the platform speaking for about 35 years.
What got you into motivational speaking and just helping people become better communicators?
Yeah. There were some personal things that happened in my life. The short story is I lost my parents 5 weeks apart when I was 22 years old, and I went through some tough times, recovered from those tough times, and decided to share my story of how did I overcome this unfortunate event. And then I spoke about it more and more and more for free, passionately, and then turned it into a career. And from that point, others sought my help. How do you do this? How do you start as a speaker? What do you have to do in order to do what you do? And I said, okay, I can make a business out of this. And simultaneously, I was running an advertising agency for many years.
Wow.
And that's what paid the bills, and speaking was a passion, something that I was able to help others accomplish. And then we were able to turn it into a business and helping people, because then I started promoting events and realized the shortcoming of many speakers was press. They had never been in the news. And how do you create credibility for somebody is having a show, being on the radio, being in print media, newspapers, magazines, today podcasts. Lacking those provable assets, it was hard to get somebody booked, much less get the interest of the public. Who is this person? Have they written a book? Have they written a New York Times best-selling book? All of these are elements in order to elevate the status of somebody.
Yes. Now, when you talk about helping people become better communicators, what kind of people approach you for this? I mean, you mentioned some CEOs, you mentioned helping professionals. Who are the people who usually come to you for
Largely,
this training?
Yeah. For example, I have 20 people here in Manila this week. Yeah. Some of them are already very accomplished speakers who want to expand into the Philippine marketplace with their products or services, and the exposure is the media. How do you do and checking it out. So these people are seasoned and they want to gather local media in the Philippines.
Okay.
Then we have some people that are newer who have had no experience on the stage, much less leaving their home country, and are here to check out if speaking is right for them. And I say, well, you'll know very quickly, because if you can get in front of the camera, be interviewed like we had 9 newspapers or 10 newspapers interview all of my participants yesterday. We had another network interview them. How in the world could they speak better? By having media to prove and elevate their self-confidence.
Okay, so this event, Speak in Manila, is basically a workshop of sorts, where you will really help people,
in a 5-day format. They walk out of here changed, transformed, better than they ever thought possible before, because we just had a radio show that they were covered on earlier today. For 2 hours, we booked the spot. They all got to share their skills, and they were all elated. It works 100% of the time. Total transformation.
How do you do it? I mean,
I failed a lot until I got better.
Yeah.
And finding out what their core message is, because people say, well, I can talk about this, I can talk about that, I can talk about this. Talk about one, do it competently, and only discuss 3 elements. 3 is a maximum. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, that's how the mind works.
Very
Pretty much
interesting.
like how we were taught to write an essay in school. Make the statement, hook the audience, 3 elements, recap it. Tell them what you're going to tell them what you told them.
Is that the pitfall of a lot of people who fail at public speaking? They don't identify, maybe they fail to focus on a message. Is that a pitfall of most?
That is one of the pitfalls.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to engage an audience. They say, oh, I'm really nervous. They come out and start tapping the mic and say, can you hear me? Oh, is this on? Or clear their throat. These are marks of the amateur. Or they fill their speech with ums or yes or right. I mean, verbal faux pas.
Yeah, but isn't that natural for a lot of people, especially when you're trying to collect your thoughts? And, if you're speaking on the fly, let's say spontaneously. I mean, is it natural for you to go and kind of clear your throat? All
People
those
who
things
aren't
you mentioned.
trained may do that. There's something called the power of the pause. Buying airtime. Guess what happens? I use what is called the cell phone test. Am I being interesting to where the millennials have put their cell phone down? Because if you capture and engage their attention, the cell phone is turned off and down, you have got them.
Now,
But
that's
if
a
they're
challenge.
still, with
Yeah.
millennials especially.
That's a challenge.
Now the Zs, good luck. You got to take it away from them. It's like taking candy from a baby. But if you can keep them engaged and their cell phones are off, you've hooked them. So the power of the pause is one of the techniques that I teach. Instead of ums and ahs, if you start out and say, it's really good to be here today, you have lost your listeners.
Very nice.
You don't need
very
to say
nice.
and ah. Amateur.
Very nice.
Pause.
Very nice.
Come out. I've seen speakers effectively come out. TED speakers, TEDx speakers come out, not say anything for the first 3 to 5 seconds. Just come out and look at the
Just make an
audience.
impression. Let the energy,
Look. Guess what happens to the cell phones? They're off because who is this?
That's true, huh? I mean,
Power of the pause.
Yeah.
Check it out. See in one of your segments, if you come out and say nothing,
Well, maybe I'd lose my job.
I don't know. I would challenge that potential belief.
No, but I can see where you're coming from, because when the speaker is on stage and he's quiet, then people are saying, hey, I mean, what's going
next?
on?
What's next?
Yeah, what's next?
What's he thinking?
Yeah. Very good. Okay, let's talk about the chicken and the handcuffs.
Okay.
Because this is the first time I've had these kinds of props on set, and I must say I'm intrigued. Why do you use a rubber chicken and handcuffs?
I'll get to this one second.
All right, let's start with the
Let's
chicken.
focus on the chicken.
Sure.
Somebody who's never spoken in their life, it's man's #1 fear.
In front of a
Front
crowd.
of an
All right,
audience,
all right.
maybe it's a friendly audience, maybe it's their family, and it could be their mom, their dad, and their cat is in the audience. The cat's looking at the chicken. But, they're nervous. They don't know how to get rid of this nervous energy. It's known to be man's #1 fear,
Yes.
even in front of drowning or burning in a fire. The embarrassment of you and I, what we're doing is easy for us. We've done it. But maybe if you could go back in time and think, oh my God, I was nervous at one time.
Sure.
And there is good nervous energy. If I have somebody that is incredibly nervous to the point where I know they're shaking or they're red face, I say, come here. I want you to do something for me. I said, turn around, stand in front of the audience. I said, close your eyes. Now, open your hand. I put this in there. I said, give it a squeeze. They open your eyes. They're amazed. They look. I said, give it 3 squeezes in a row. Everybody smiles, both the friendlies or unfriendlies that are in the audience and the person that's holding the chicken, because all I've done is transferred the fear out of this into the chicken. And it's got red lips, it's got a mouth, it's a funny color. You give it a couple squeezes like that.
It breaks the ice.
Completely.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate icebreaker and confidence booster, I said, because now I want you to complete after me the following sentence. I squeeze the rubber chicken because. Give it 3 squeezes. I squeeze the rubber chicken because. ... They fill in their own blank. You've started. I said, now tell me what you do for a living. After you squeeze the chicken again 3 more times. They can't help it. And they do it.
I'm loving this chicken. I mean, I
Next
should have
time I
one.
see you, I'm going to bring you a rubber chicken. You can start out a segment squeezing the chicken.
I should have one. See, I should have one.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it?
It is.
Yeah, it's a
It's
tension reducer.
therapeutic.
It is
Okay,
therapeutic.
let's talk about the handcuffs.
Okay. This has a few potential meanings. Are you looking for financial freedom? If I were to take these out of the bag,
Yeah.
which we could do, and if I had some good scissors, oh, it's coming apart. So I take these out.
Yeah.
So these are better. I've got keys here, which could be another metaphor. But we've got handcuffs right here. And say, this is what it's like to have a job. You're just over broke, and you are manacled. How do you break free from being manacled and tied down to your job? You simply break free. You decide to believe in you and break free. Now,
well, those are broken, clearly.
yeah, they're broken now. I mean, they're made in China, but of quality.
Yeah. I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I mean, it says right there, made in Shanghai.
I get you proper pair of handcuffs so you can break
I
those.
understand. Probably not. I don't even want to envision that.
Okay.
I don't want to piss off anybody.
Bravo, Mitch,
Yeah.
bravo. I mean, I
So
love.
that's a
I
quick
love-
metaphor. Or
Absolutely.
if you get somebody
Love
that
it.
may come from the red light district, has a different meaning. All different ways of
I
using
love
these
it, I
as
love it.
metaphors.
Very good. Very. Okay, let's talk about the event. Speak
Yes.
in Manila. When is it going to happen?
The 19th in Ortigas at Discovery Suites, the 42nd floor. They got to
Okay.
take an elevator to the 41st and walk. They've got to be in shape. Go up one more floor by stairs, and we're down the hall, and we welcome people who want to be interested in meeting 20 international speakers.
Very good.
And the
huh?
price is great. It's called free.
Even better.
Even better. That's my favorite word in the English language, and it could be for our listeners.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, the 20 speakers that you've invited,
Mm-hmm.
what's their profile?
We have somebody from Germany, his name is Matthias, who's known as the Green Man expert. He
Oh, I know him.
Yes.
Yeah, Green Man, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
Matthias Geller. He's a great guy, met him, invited him to come and speak and share his message. It's all about ecology, so he's one example. I have a former president of the National Speakers Association of Australia that talks about how to make networks and connections to people.
Very good.
I have another lady who's a parenting expert out of Malaysia, somebody that teaches you how to speak within 24 hours, 30% of the Mandarin language. She's out of Kuala Lumpur. I have another lady
Wow.
that is in network marketing. Then I have 6 people from Tokyo, 4 of whom speak no English. They're there with translation. One is a sales expert out of Tokyo. Another 2 are in the category of teaching people how to get a rested night of sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, because some people suffer from
Yes.
sleep apnea, and
Yeah,
they
no,
cover
definitely,
that.
definitely.
So, yeah, that's just a few examples.
Well, it sounds like a big event. Congratulations in
Thank you.
advance for organizing this. Would you like to say something to the audience? Maybe invite them to come and visit?
Yes, I would. If you want to get in touch with me, can I comment
Sure,
about that?
definitely.
Mitch Carson Official is my Facebook profile, the Mitch Carson Official. You can also go to speakinmanila.com and leave your information there. And Ortigas, Discovery Suites, 42nd floor, 9 to 3 on the 19th.
And they will walk away from this
Empowered. Exposed to international people, because we learn through the experiences of others.
Bravo, bravo.
When I left America, my eyes opened up, the blinders receded, and I got to see the world through a different light, because people who have traveled have truly experienced life.
Definitely, it's the best school. Mitch, thank you so much for coming to the
Well,
show.
thank you for having
Pleasure
me.
to have you here. I wish I had you for longer, but maybe after your
Just keep
event.
squeezing the chicken and
Sure,
I'll come back.
Sure will.
Thank you so
sir.
much.
Thank you. Congratulations again, eh?
Thank you.
So guys, I hope you enjoyed our show today at Global Eco Village Network. And of course, Speak in Manila. Join us again next week here in Global Village and let us take you around the world. Till then, you all have a good evening.